All right, so I have a review for you guys, or not really a review, but a quick overview of the new G&G LevAR or LevAR or whatever you want to call it. Um, these were sent as samples, so they're not my personal guns. I didn't do any sort of modifications or major disassembly or anything like that because they're not mine, and I don't want to mess anything up. Um, I basically just kind of used them, played around with them a little bit, and I did have to like do very minor disassembly. It basically doesn't even count as disassembly. Um, but I'll talk to you about that when I get there. So basically, this is a lever action from G&G. This is a gas-powered lever action, and it uses M4 magazines and M4 uppers. LevAR basically it's a lever action AR, which is like the M4 basically. Yeah, I mean it's really cool. I am personally going to get one of these when they come out. How I was using this, so I have both right now with me. I have the LevAR 7-inch, which is this one, and then I have a LevAR 15-inch, which is the long one. The long one comes with a stock on it. The short one comes with no stock. Now, how I was using this, I actually used this during game. How I was using it during game is I was using the short upper on the lower with the stock. The stock, definitely very helpful. When I get one of these personally, I'm going to get the short one, and then I'm going to buy separately this stock. I found that the stock just made it like 1,000 times easier to actually use in game, to be able to cock it and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to cock it when you're just floating in midair with no stock. Personally, is the way that I see it. Obviously, your mileage may vary depending on who you are, but that's just how it was to me. We'll go ahead and pick this up here. So magazines, it takes normal M4 magazines. The magazine it comes with is a super ultra tiny M4 magazine. It does have the dangly thing on here. So this is not going to fit in any M4s, but M4 magazines do fit in here. So like when I use this, I was using my PTS PMags, and these lock in just fine. And then there's magazine release here. And this is the magazine release that I preferred to use. I always use this one. There is 2 other magazine releases. On the other side of the gun, you have a magazine release right here, and then you have a magazine release up here as well, right? So, I mean, if you are left-handed, this is very convenient. You have one right where your thumb is. If you're right-handed, it's kind of weird, I guess. You can definitely easily do it. It's not an issue. It just is very awkward, or not awkward, but it's just very, very different than what typically used to. And then that one's just way too far forwards for your right hand. But with your left hand, if you're left-handed, you would probably want to just grab that. So if I put back in, you would probably want to just do that. That's how I would do it. And this, personally, I was always afraid of this button. I was afraid I would accidentally hit this button and eject my magazine. So I was never putting my finger anywhere near this, personally. You can put that off to the side. Selector switch. It has fire and it has safety. The gun fully cycles, and the hammer, or the trigger drops the hammer, no matter which position is at. But when it's on safety, it will not actually shoot. The hammer will just drop. So let's see here. So right now we're on safety, I believe. Hammer does drop, but it doesn't like fire BB. I put it onto fire. It shoots. Now, obviously, when I was playing, I was not cocking like that. I was cocking it normally, like you would a lever action. Just as on the video, it's kind of a little bit awkward, which is why I don't have the LevAR 15 out here to show you that, because it's very awkward. Over here we have the bolt, and you can actually see the bolt. So if I cock it, you can see the bolt moves back, and there's actually a fake bullet in there, which is cool. And I will talk more about that in a second. Oh, sorry. And then it does have a normal G&G rotary hop-up, and I assume you can put kind of any sort of hop-up you want in there. It does take standard M4 uppers. You don't have to change anything in your upper, and it will go into the gun, which is really cool. So you can put any upper on that you want to, because it uses just an AEG system, basically, as far as how the receivers work. Basically, the whole bolt mechanism is fitting in the same place as the top of your gearbox would fit. But yeah. Let's see here. It comes with the new flip-up sights. Honestly, like with the stock on this gun, even with the face mask, so you could easily look down these fiber optic sights, which is nice because these fiber optics are pretty nice. You typically can't use them on like, they put these sights on some of the M4s, and you definitely cannot see the fiber optics. You have to flip them up on the M4s. But on the lever action, with the way that the stock kind of goes down, you can easily see the fiber optics super, super easily on here. And then the gas reservoir is in the bottom of the grip, and that is definitely the perfect spot because that is the perfect spot to put an HPA line, which is what I might do. I might do an HPA line because this might turn into my outdoor gun when I get it, and then I can tune it to whatever exact velocity I want to tune it to. Now, playing with this, this is a sample. This has been handed all over the place, so I don't know the entire history of the gun. And I don't know if this is going to be a recurring issue or if this is maybe somebody messed up or something, but basically this handle is a little bit bent, and sometimes it doesn't hit the reset for the trigger. So the trigger reset is this little tiny piece down here. So when I cock it, I need, if I miss the trigger reset, I'm going to kind of do it. So right there, I missed it. I went off next to it. If I pull the trigger, nothing happens. I have to hit the trigger reset button. I don't know what it's called. And then it'll work. Right. And this is not my personal gun, so I didn't bend it back or anything like that or modify it. When I personally get one, obviously I will make sure it's fine. And if this happens over time, then I will have some sort of modification for it. But that's just something that I noticed. Because when I first opened these up, like a lot of the time I would rack it and nothing would happen. And it just is because it was not hitting the reset for the trigger here. All right. And these are potentially pre-production. I don't know. I think these are probably some of the only ones in America at the time of filming this, at least. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and open up the upper. So it is just a normal M4. We have the front pin that is captured. And then this can come off, hopefully. Oh, it does cover. So the upper is just a normal upper. There's nothing crazy. It is a metal upper. So you get metal upper, metal lower, metal handguard. This is a very metal heavy gun, basically. But yeah, you can put most M4 uppers just straight onto here, which is nice, right? Especially G&G uppers, obviously. Now going to the lower, as you can see, the bolt kind of just rides in the spot of the upper half of what the gearbox would be, right? And if I go ahead and cock it, you can see how it functions. So you can see there is this bar up here that will basically rotate and move the bolt back and forth. On this side, you should be able to easily see, actually, this side probably easier. So the nozzle is made to look like a fake bullet. And when you cock it, right, you can pay attention. So there is a little part of the gun that grabs onto the back of the nozzle, which makes it look like a bullet, and basically it sort of ejects the bullet, basically. And that's how it cycles the gun. So that's what retracts the nozzle, and then when you put it back forwards, it will push the nozzle back forwards. I hope you could see that. Let me do it again. I know, this is probably very terrible on video. I'm sorry. I did not disassemble anything in here. I'm afraid to do that because it's not mine and I don't want to mess it up. But the one thing that I did notice is when we got them, after just a few shots, we were having issues with the nozzle deal here because the O-rings inside got all dried up. So if you notice your gun is not working properly, check to make sure, because once the O-rings get dried and all gross, or not gross, but dry, the little claw thing that grabs on to the bullet will stop grabbing on. It will, the bullet will get stuck in here and the claw will go back by itself and not pull the bullet with it, or the nozzle with it. So if that happens, look at your gun, and then make sure you can push this out, and then there's that O-ring. You need to make sure that O-ring is all good, right? Because it was not good when we first got it, and I was testing it, but it's good now. And it should work. Obviously, test it a bunch of times before you use it in game to make sure that it actually is properly retracting, right? Yeah, I really don't have much to talk about in this video because I'm not really knowledgeable on these guns at all, and I don't really know anything about them, obviously, because I'm not knowledgeable on them. But I haven't taken anything apart because I don't want to mess anything up. When I get one of these for myself, I am definitely going to do a disassembly video for sure, because these are really cool. And I am for sure getting one. That is going to happen, and you guys will be the first to see. But yeah, I mean, that's that. I don't have much else to say. I know that online, these are already, or not online, I know that in other countries, these are already released. So I definitely recommend you try to find some videos on these guns from people who already have them, and have like messed around them a bunch, because I honestly have not done much with this. I've played a couple games with this. And I just noticed these two things going on, and that's it. And these are not major issues. They're just parts of the gun. The nozzle, like, you just have to make sure that it has oil on it, obviously. And then this part down here, honestly, I think that this has just been handed around so much that it is just gotten bent a little bit over time. And I think maybe one of the people before me was a little aggressive, possibly. But yeah, I mean, that is the video. I don't have much else to say. I mean, this is really fun, really satisfying. And I do like that you can just use normal M4 uppers on here, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, when I was using this in game, I just had a red dot on there, sighted in, with a stock, and that's literally all I used. I didn't need anything else. I didn't use a tracer or a flashlight or anything like that. I just sighted in, and it was definitely really fun. For some reason, it was impossible for me to put it back together on the gun. But yeah, I mean, I think these are really cool. This is definitely my first purchase as soon as it comes out. Like, there's no other gun that I'm waiting for at the moment. And yeah, I mean, I recommend you check out other videos right now that are going to be more knowledgeable on this. And then I will have a disassembly video when I get one for myself. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the video. I don't have much else to say about it. Oh, I do need to mention the velocity. The short barrel one is going to be like below 350 feet per second, and the long barrel version is above 350, but it's below 400. So those are the velocities for the two guns, at least the two that I have in my hands. Now, I don't know if these are pre-release ones that are going to be a little bit different, but those are the velocities that I was receiving with standard pressure gas. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for me. So have a nice day. Adios. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if this video was useful for you. And make sure you check out the link down below. That is a link to our Discord server, and you are welcome to join. All right, have a nice day.